Hey guys, it's Mama Rebio. There's Sid. I wanted to do a quick update. Actually, last night, this whole weekend, I have not been getting good sleep. And I've been having a discussion with Ian that, maybe Sydney's ready to go into his crib because both of us aren't really getting very restful sleep. Yeah. So last night, after looking up some changes that we can make to hopefully remedy some of the issues that we're having, and possibly potentially get Sydney into the crib. We started a new bedtime routine, and we also started doing kind of like what I would call a modified Ferber method, where we get Sydney to sleep, or most of the way to sleep, put him in his crib, and then if he cries, we go in, well, he's in our room, so, we try and pat his tummy, we try and hold him, rock him a little bit so he'll go back to sleep. So we tried that last night, and Sydney would sleep in his crib for about 45 minutes at a time. And what I'm kind of attributing that to is that's how long his sleep cycle is, and normally he's in bed with us, so he will just wake up and roll over and find my breast and nurse and fall back to sleep. And normally that kind of wakes me up a little bit. And so that's kind of the reasoning behind wanting to transfer him to his crib and, potentially get out of the habit of doing that, for kind of my convenience of being able to sleep longer. And even potentially I thought, allergies. Potentially, I thought this would also help him to sleep longer because perhaps when I'm moving around, it's waking him up as well. So we started this last night. We did bath time, we did books, and then we said, okay, night-night, and, nursed him most of the way to sleep. He went to bed, and then at that point, I transferred him to his crib, and he pretty much just stood straight up, woke up, started bouncing up and down and babbling. I kind of let him go for a little bit, and then I thought, I'm going to leave the room because maybe me being here makes him think that it's playtime. So I left the room, and when I left the room, obviously he started crying because he's like, where are you going? And then after going back in, I tried nursing him again. That helped him fall asleep again, and then I was able to put him down in the crib, and he was asleep. So then at that point he would sleep 45 minutes, wake up, I would have to rock him, and then he would go back to sleep. He did that a few times, and then he stopped going back to sleep. When I would rock him, he was just up and he would scream every time I put him down. So I was like, I'm exhausted because I pretty much didn't sleep from the start of the process of putting him to bed. Because I was just stressed out. I was stressed out thinking, how's he doing? When is he going to wake up next? And all that stuff. So eventually I just put him in bed with me probably around a little bit after 11 o'clock because I was so tired. And then I thought, okay, that's fine. I'm just going to try again during nap time today because maybe this is a deal where I need to get him going for nap time and then bedtime will kind of fall into place. So I tried that this afternoon, and he cried even more, and I just felt terrible because he would cry, and then I would pick him up, and immediately after I picked him up, he would put his head down on my shoulder and just fall asleep. So I was feeling just really terrible, and after, I would say about, 45 minutes to an hour of him, crying, and obviously I didn't leave him to cry, but of intermittent crying, even when I was in there trying to pat him, I was just so upset, and I was just thinking to myself, what's my reasoning behind doing this? My reasoning is I felt like perhaps he's waking up more than normal, maybe I'm waking up more than normal, and that could definitely be attributed to teething. Maybe he's going through a sleep regression. He's just about 10 months old, and I think that one of the sleep regressions happens around then. So I was just feeling like, okay, what are my motivations for this? Because he's crying more. He's getting less sound sleep because he's now sad and afraid to go to sleep or anxious to go to sleep because he doesn't want me to leave him. And then I just thought, you know, all this time since he's been born, my kind of natural gut instinct has been to nurse him to sleep because that calms him down, and has also been, you know, to have him, once he was big enough, to have him in my bed, not just next to my bed, have him in the bed with Ian and I, and he just sleeps more soundly that way. And I just thought, you know, I'm going against my instincts here, and I think honestly it's because there's so much pressure when you are co-sleeping, when you nurse past a certain amount of time. You know, our social norms, that goes against our social norms. Sydney, you really, really want this camera, don't you? This is my very high-tech video today in a selfie mode because I'm just like, this is all I have time for. So I wanted to post this just really quick and say, I'm really reevaluating, you know, what are my motives, and are they just because I feel societal pressure to have him in his crib, to have him sleeping through the night, to not be nursing him, to be doing this, that, and the other. You know, I've been doing lots of vacations lately. I've been around a lot more people where, you know, I have to leave to nurse Sid to sleep for his nap, and they're like, okay, well, can't you just put him down? You know, and then at night when I want to hang out with people, you know, it's like Sydney's bedtime is my bedtime, and that's definitely a different mentality than most people. Most people, their lives are like, hey, baby's life should be kind of revolving around mine instead of the other way around. So anyway, this is just my topic of conversation. If you would, just leave in the comments below your experience with sleep time, nap time. Maybe if you did something against what, you know, kind of is the cultural norm. I'm just needing some encouragement today to follow my intuition. And I think that's the main thing that I want to portray here. It's not that co-sleeping is the best, not that, you know, cry it out, let's shame cry it out moms or anything like that, but pretty much just to say, follow your mother's intuition or your parent intuition, because I really think that we need to do what's best for our families, and try to push that shame and that guilt off that says that we're doing it wrong, just because we're not doing it like everybody else. So anywho, this is my selfie mode 8-minute video. I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for putting up with my bun hair don't care and my crawling around monster of a child who I love dearly, actually. I love you. I love you. You're such a sweetheart. Yeah. Say goodbye to everybody. Bye. We'll see you later. Have a good day.